Alright, what's up everyone, it is I, Karikari. It's time for another monthly review. This is of course the monthly review for January 2015. As per usual, this video is split into three parts, where we talk about what's been happening in my life, what's been happening in the channel, and what's been happening in gaming. And to start off with, you know, this month was really a bit of a weird month. In terms of world events and world news. I just basically want to say that we all remember those who died in Paris, in Charlie Hebdo, satirical magazine, that even though such a shocking thing happened, they still continued with the publication of their magazine, which is a satirical magazine that uses cartoons to make jokes and poke fun at some pretty serious things. And I think that's always very important in this world, to be able to keep some sort of humor in times of grief. All right. But anyway, we're going to talk about. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're not going to be political. We're going to let that. I'm going to leave that for other people. Let's talk about stuff. So what's been happening in my life? Well, it's the same thing that's been happening in everyone's life. Happy New Year! Of course, it is of course January, which means the year has become 2015, and I would make a joke about news, but no. Lots of people will be having their New Year's resolutions, you know, to become slimmer, to get, to find certain things, to get a new job, etc., etc. My New Year's resolution is 1080p, and I know that's a very bad joke, but I mean, like, right now I am using a laptop that has 1600 by 900. I'm on a PS4 with a TV that can only support up to 720p. So really, I feel like this year is the year that I might actually go and get a monitor that could support 1080p, not for my laptop, but for my PS4, because, you know, 1080p. Oh, it's so good. Or you know, maybe both. That's always an option. Yeah. All right. Oh, something in my mouth. But otherwise, there really hasn't been much happening in life. Alright, what's been happening on the channel? Well, I did just finish the Shadow of Mordor campaign like a couple of weeks ago, so that's all up on the channel. Go check it out. It is, of course, Lord of the Rings. It's fully lore based, like, it's so lore heavy, it's insane. And you know, the power of the ring shall rule them all. And basically it talks about how the rings were created by the great elf Celebrimbor. So it's actually a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend. I definitely understand people wanting it, people recommending it as a game of the year. It's basically Assassin's Creed if Assassin's Creed Unity didn't screw up so hard with bugs and stuff. But you know, like, now that I've finished Shadow of Mordor, I don't know what I want to do next. Like, should I get AC Unity and try and go through the campaign in a playthrough, or is there another game that that might be good? I mean, like, like, PS Plus is apparently for next month, which is February. PS Plus is apparently giving away some 2D side-scrolling Roman story game thing that seems interesting, and I might actually do that. It looks fun, so I think that might be the next one. Or if there's another game that people want to see, because I haven't really watched any Unity campaigns, so, or like on YouTube, so like I don't know. I might actually go for that. We'll see. But yeah, have I said? Oh yeah. We finally hit 100 subscribers. Woohoo! So now the subscriber count on my channel is triple digits. It's now 102. So that's always good. And yeah, alright, so that's really all of that. Right, let's move on to what's been happening in gaming. And like I said, this has been or have I said that? I don't know. I've done a few takes of this. I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying. But it's been a bit of a slow month in terms of like stuff that I care about much. Yeah. But I think this, yeah, okay, so this is the month where, wait, did I get into Heroes in this month, or did I get into Heroes last month? Okay, it doesn't look like I got into Heroes of the Storm last month. So this is the month where I finally got into the into the technical alpha of Heroes of the Storm, and just last week, the closed beta started. With the closed beta, there's a few changes, like some of the abilities have been tweaked, some of the maps have been tweaked, here a few balance changes here and there, but also Thrall, the war chief of the Horde, is now playable, and apparently he's extremely overpowered when in his melee damage. But I mean, it's cool, it's cool. I like to play Zagara. For those who are remotely interested in Heroes of the Storm, I like to play Zagara. And I find that Zagara is a very versatile hero, in that she can fit multiple roles depending on like how you want to build her up. Like if you want to go for the Baneling build of like extended range and 8 Banelings, or like Demolitionist and 8 Banelings, that kind of makes Zagara feel more like of a siege hero, trying to do as much splash damage as possible, especially with the drop pods and the Banelings. They do splash damage. I tend to go for a more assassin type build with by focusing more on Hydralisks, because they actually do quite a lot of damage, especially if they're left unchecked in what I like to call clusterfuck battles. Yeah, Hydralisks seem extremely powerful in those kind of battles, because like there's minions, there's heroes, and they're kind of killing each other, and nobody knows what's happening. And then I'm just I'm just like throwing drop pod in the middle of their army and attempt to like sort of kill them, and that kind of doesn't do a lot in theory, but it kind of kills them anyway, because drop pod does a lot of damage. Hydralisk does a little bit less damage per hit, but they can shoot pretty far if you turn them into hunter killers. Also, if you give them groove spines, then they start killing really well. I tend to go for groove spines instead of Mutalisk. For those of you who play Zagara, you'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like damage and range is, for the most part, it's more useful than having the flying unit. But of course, it really depends on the kind of situation that you're going to find yourself in. Maybe with different maps, there's a different approach. Like if you find yourself killing heroes in the middle areas instead of in the lanes, then maybe you'll probably want to go groove spines. But if you find yourself and your team attacking heroes in the lanes with the minions and everything, then you'll probably want to go for Mutalisk. Similarly, if you're coming across heroes like Nazebo, who can like do the blocking thing, or Tassida, who can do the wall or similar, you might want to go Mutalisk, because Hydralisks will get blocked by these spells. But that's enough circle jerk about Zagara. I mean, like, I think she's the best hero. But but that being said, it really depends on how you want to play and who you want to play as. Like if you have a favorite hero, like if you're an Arthas fan, then you'll probably really enjoy playing Arthas, even though he's a tank, and you're gonna have to understand how to play a tank. All right. Alright, that's enough about Heroes of the Storm. Let's talk a little bit about Warframe, and I really mean a little bit, because basically not much has happened except the Archwing event, where what happened? Oh, that's right. We used our Archwings to attack Fomorian ships. It kind of finished this month. We lost a few relays. I remember the I think it was the Uranus relay. Stratos relay. The Stratos relay was the first one to fall, and I was there. And we stood and we waited for the countdown to go to 0, and then the thing blew up because the Fomori just shot it to hell. So we lost a few good relays, including Vesper relay, which was the Venus relay, or was it the or was it the Mercury relay? I can't remember, but we lost a few good relays. The Saturn, the Chronia relay and Saturn is still alive, I think. There's like 3 left, so yeah, that kind of sucks. But maybe they'll come back. Who knows? But that's really all that's happened. Oh, and there's also been a patch that came out, I think, yesterday, to fix to buff up some of Necros's abilities to make him a little bit better. Yeah, generally speaking, it's Terrify and his Shadows of the Dead that have become a little bit or a lot better. More targets, more power, more health, more duration, more damage. Basically, that's basically the gist of the update. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Vita, and there's not really much happening with the Vita in terms of updates at the moment, but it looks like Sony and Google have had some sort of contract termination. Like they've probably like had a contract finish up. So basically, as of now, the YouTube app is no longer a part of the PS Store, but if you've already downloaded the YouTube app on your Vita, you can still use it, right? So I can still, you know, like I can still use the YouTube app to do my stuff. It's still kind of working for the most part, so you know, it's still working. So anyway, that's Inside Gaming. All right, but it's apparently, it says here that as of the 20th of April 2015, this app will no longer be supported. Now, whether that means that the app will cease to work, or whether it just means that there will be no more updates ever, I don't know. But I mean, like, frankly, this app hasn't really been updated much. There has only been like there's only been like 3 updates. Like, we had version 2.0 where channels and playlists and stuff were added. Then version 2.1 where you can start YouTube without you can start YouTube and play videos without closing and save your games. Then version 2.2 and 2.3 were basically software stability updates. So really, like at this point, like the app is just really stable now. I haven't really run into any problems. It does crash like once every 2 weeks, just once, you know, and and it's fine because like you just close it and then you just open it up again and it works perfectly fine again. So you know, there's really nothing wrong with the YouTube app, and I feel like if they're going to cut support to it, that's fine, I guess. To be honest, I use YouTube on my Vita more than I use YouTube on PC. Especially in the period of time where YouTube on PC, the player was a little bit stupid, and there were like jagged lines if you played in high definition. That seems to have stopped, which is good, but I still prefer the super sexy OLED screen that only requires 720p videos to play at super duper high definition. Even though the screen is oh yeah, that's right, the screen is like 960 by something, which means 720p videos. 720p videos is enough for it to be like super awesome, and therefore 1080p is completely obsolete on the Vita. Alright, what else am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, that's right, I am going to talk about Destiny of Spirits, which if I turn on my Vita, there was a huge update that was made available called Neo World. Okay, you can't see that. It's called Neo World, and basically it is the big update that they have been waiting for a long time, as you can see right there. Okay, So like the whole thing's changed. There's Andromeda in there. If we do that, yeah. If we do that, focus a bit. Okay, that'll do. So as you can see, there's Andromeda right there, who's one of the new units, new spirits that is able to be jeez, my ability to do that. Anyway, so like there's some new guys to be summoned, as well as some stats to, jeez, I pressed the wrong button. So there's also been some stats improved for some of the old characters, such as everyone's favorite Morrigan, or at least my favorite. It was of course the goddess from Irish mythology. So like for example, so just taking Morgan for example, stats improvement include the cost that her party cost per se has been reduced. If you can see that right there. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so her party cost has been reduced to 3.0. If you can, no, you can't read that. So this is Morgan. Her party cost has been reduced to 3.0. Her catastrophe battle skill is now decreases the speed of enemies by 40% instead of 30%, which is cool. I should just do that. Why did I? And also, like, at the same time, another thing that came about is the continent of Mu, spelled M-U. That's now available. As you can see, I'm already sort of into it. The problem, and also, like, for those of you who were updating or are trying to update the game, if you're running into an update problem, you should delete the game and then reinstall it. But the only downside to deleting and reinstalling it, as you can see here, is you have to start from scratch. Like, I already went through like the whole globe, but like because I had to delete and restart the game and reinstall the game, basically I don't get the save data that I had before, unless of course I try and download it from PS Plus. Do I have it? That was from the 28th. The update happened yesterday. I mean, like, I'm downloading it. I'm downloading the PS Plus. We're doing this live, everyone. So I mean, like, let's see if it works. Meanwhile, like, Moo is just friggin' insane. Like, there are some really bizarre. Okay, let's turn it on. There are some pretty hardcore things available on Moo now. Things like fighting 2 bosses at a time. That's a concept that has never been around. This is the first time where you get to do this. Fighting 2 bosses at a time. Now, there's 2 ways of fighting 2 bosses at a time. Like, basically, the way this game works is you go into a round, and you're basically in that round until you kill everything, or at least the bosses. So you can either fight 2 bosses at the same time, and they're both attacking you at the same time, or you can fight them one at a time, but they'll be having their sort of escort friends to help them out. So you're basically fighting 2 bosses one at a time, and you're also getting hit by escorts that can attack pretty hard, depending on their element. And there's also the 2 times battle speed, which kind of already came about a while ago, but that's frankly, 2 times battle speed is now like normal battle speed for me, because the other 1 times battle speed is just too slow. In much the same way that a lot of pro players tend to play, well, in fact, everyone tends to play StarCraft at faster speed instead of like normal speed, because normal speed is just too slow, and faster speed is just everything smoother. And it's hard. It's hard. Like, it's reached a point where, like, you can have apparently 1 wave, but that 1 wave is 14 bloody guys. So I mean, like, that's hardcore. But yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about. So yeah. Like, again, like, the question really does become, what do you want me? What do you, the viewer, the 10 or so viewers who watch this, want to see me play next? It can be PC, it can be PS4. I prefer PS4 because the frame rate of my PS4 is a lot more stable than my PC. Because you know PC, because because you know PS4 it's one system as opposed to PC where the games are usually fitted for like multiple different types of systems. So I'd rather a PS4 game as opposed to a PC game. But if you really want me to play a PC game, I'll do that. Oh yeah, PS Now is now a thing, but it's not really working here in Australia, especially on my US account. I feel like until they put an Australian server, this service will never work. So you know, yeah. So if you ever find, wow, how did it get so dark? So if you want me to do a walkthrough of a particular PS4 game, you let me know, and maybe I'll go and get it because you know I have money. So yeah, until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.